with everything that's going on in the USWA, I wanted to see if we could get the king, Jerry Lawler, out here to talk to him. Got a couple of questions for him, and especially to talk to him in the event of the USWA ECW. I don't know if we could call it a feud, but there has been some words, and there has been some comments. Too Sexy Brian Christophher coming out, and you can see the fans' reaction. Big crowd here today at Championship Wrestling in our TV studio, and Brian Christophher being mobbed by his fans. Brian making his way around the ring. Too Sexy Brian Christophher.
Give me some, St. John. Oh, yeah. Like I say, baby, I can always count on Too Sexy fans over here to get me fired up.
The whole world being made aware of this man, Too Sexy Brian Christophher, and I know you've got a lot on your mind.
A lot on my mind, but a little bit was taken off my mind just about 30 minutes ago. I'm going to shed a little light. Everybody saw Billy Joe Travis being escorted out of here by some Shelby County police officers, right?
I saw that.
Well, let me just explain to everybody what happened. St. John, you remember 2 weeks ago when Billy Joe Travis and Luther Biggs, they walked right out that door and they went into the parking lot and they threw a bunch of stuff on my truck, right?
Right, I saw that.
Well, one of those things they threw on there was a trash can. And that trash can, it scratched my hood all up. And you know what that is? That's vandalism. So, Travis, what I did was I got on the phone and I called the police and I reported that vandalism, and they were happy for me to call because they said that they've been looking for Travis for a couple of weeks now because you know what? He's been a little late on his alimony and child support payments down in Texas. So I told him, all you got to do is come down here to the TV station and he'll be here next week. And that's what. Now, here comes somebody else I've been wanting to talk to.
Jerry the King Lawler coming out.
Hey, and there a question that needs to be answered?
There are some questions, but before we get to that...
Wait a minute, but while we're talking about child support, we might as well do a little talking. What were you going to ask me? You were going to ask me something?
Well, I received a letter this week, Jerry, and it's from the ECW.
Obviously written in crayon.
Well, it's complaining about the way that Tommy Dreamer was
You mind
was
standing
treated.
over here a minute? I think you're just right over here. You're fine right there. There you go.
Well,
Grease all over me.
they're complaining the way that Tommy Dreamer was treated by the USWA and by the officials when he came here to the USWA. And I'll be honest with you, I wish I could tell you I wish I could read the letter. Well, there are words in there that you can read it, but there are words in there that aren't going to be said on television, I can assure you. And the English is a little
that's not
broken.
Yeah, that's well. You're right. This is words that can't be said on television. Hey, you know what? I don't care, Michael, if the ECW is upset with me. I don't care if Tommy Dreamer or the Sandman or Paulie Dangerously or all of those idiots from ECW are upset with me. I want them upset with me. Do you understand that? I want to invite them right here to the USWA any chance they want to come here because I got something for you. Do you know what I'm talking about? So anytime, any place, come on down. As a matter of fact, I made a little personal visit to the ECW arena, and I took care of a little business. So I'm giving you the same opportunity, boys. Come on down. Don't write letters. Do it in person, okay?
Well, there's one other question, and it's a burning question on everybody's mind, and you know the question I'm about to ask. And should I go ahead and say it one more time?
No, you don't even have to say it. Everybody knows what you're about to ask. Everybody knows what the burning question is. First of all, you know, I've been thinking about this all week long, and it's like, what is the big deal? I mean, you know, I was up in the WWF last week, and here's this idiot Vince McMahon and Jim Ross. They're all talking about it. Everybody on the internet's talking about it. Everybody in the sheets is talking about it. Everybody out in TV land's talking about it. You know what? You know when wrestling used to be really good? When there was just a little bit of mystique in it. You know, when there was a little something left to the imagination. Nowadays, everybody wants to know everything about everybody, all about their personal life, and all about every little thing about everything. Hey, you know what? I went to see Jurassic Park last week, And I sat there and I enjoyed that movie. You know why I enjoyed it? Because Steven Spielberg didn't come popping up the screen every 30 seconds saying, hey, these aren't real dinosaurs. Okay, you see what I mean? You know what? There's some things that are just a little better left to the imagination. I'm a big Cleveland Indians fan. You know that, been all my life, right? I used to like Albert Bell. Then all of a sudden, Albert Bell comes along, and Chicago White Sox offering $55 million. He takes off the Cleveland uniform, puts on a White Sox uniform. All of a sudden, you know, it makes me realize, hey, these guys don't really care what team they're playing for. So it made me a little bit less of a baseball fan because that's personal business.
Hold on now. It's a simple question.
Well, I'm giving a simple answer. I'm telling these people why it's none of their business. You know what I mean? It's none of anybody's business what my personal life is. Wait a minute. Michael, what's your telephone number?
Well, it's my
business. Come on, what's your home telephone number? Come on, let's tell everyone. What's your telephone number?
Well, it's something that
you don't want to give it out, do you?
No, not on television.
Because it's your own personal business,
Absolutely,
right? How much income tax did you pay last year, Michael?
Well, that's my personal business.
Right.
Either.
There are some things that are people's personal business, and you don't want to necessarily tell that. Because I don't want to share my whole life with everybody out there. I think they're better off knowing me inside the ring and knowing that I can kick somebody's butt when I step into the ring, and they don't need to know all my personal business. Do you understand that? Can you people understand that?
Wow. So the question is...
But the question was asked. I mean, you know, a lot of people want to know. A lot of people has asked me, and they just want to know. It's a simple yes or no question.
Well,
and they wanted you to answer it.
Well, I ain't answering it. I ain't telling, okay?
Well, if you're not going to answer it, I guess I can answer it, right?
No, you can't answer it.
Well, why can I not answer it?
Because I said you're not answering it.
Because you said so.
That's right. Yeah. That's my business, okay? You understand that?
Well, I guess that's the answer.
I understand.
Well, that's the answer.
I guess I can't answer it. He said so. I can't answer it.
Oh, okay, you want to answer it?
Yeah, I would like to answer
Well,
it.
go ahead and try it.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, hey, wait a minute.
He said I can answer it. I'll tell you what. Let me answer it. Everyone.
Wait. Jerry Lawler and Brian Christophher, a little altercation here. Could this be the King telling Brian Christophher to get in the ring? He's got a match right here, and the question is still the question. Let's go to Tony.
All right, Michael, we're ready for more action, scheduled for one fall, the 10-minute time limit. Introducing first, wrestling at a parts unknown, here is Mr. Wrestling. His opponent, weighing 225 pounds, Memphis' own, too sexy, Brian Christophher. One fall, 10 minutes in time.
The main event today on Championship Wrestling for the expiration of time, too sexy Brian Christophher against Mr. Wrestling, and the burning question throughout the USWA and throughout the world of professional wrestling. Still unanswered. Well, maybe we'll have more light to shed on it next week here on the USWA. Mr. Wrestling and Brian Christophher tying up in the corner. Mr. Wrestling throwing a hard right, and Brian Christophher quickly countering. Great crowd on hand today for all the action of the USWA. Right now, a lot of questions in the USWA. We don't have current tag team champions, just that belt, or those belts, if you would, being upheld. And then today on the program, Billy Joe Travis being escorted out of the studio by the police. And of course, Billy Joe Travis in the stable of Luther Biggs, the current USWA heavyweight champion. So I guess we will find out what will happen with that whole situation. The USWA Southern Heavyweight Championship being reintroduced into the USWA. One time, one of the most prestigious belts in all the world, held by some of the greatest wrestlers of all time, including Jerry the King Lawler, Sputnik Monroe, Jackie Fargo, Tojo Yamamoto. Many, many stars have held the Southern Heavyweight Championship, and that belt being reintroduced shortly in the USWA. And here's a prime contender for it right there in the ring, Brian Christophher. Brian, of course, the former USWA heavyweight champion. Lots of things going on in the USWA. It's a great time to be a fan of the USWA. Here's Luther Biggs returning to the table.
Did Brian come out here and say that he had Billy Joe arrested?
Yes, he did.
Say this, as soon as this match is over, I'd like to have a word with the little rat.
Well, right now, Brian Christophher involved in a match with Mr. Wrestling.
Matter of fact, maybe I ought to just go up there and give him a piece of my mind right now.
Luther Biggs here at the table.
Yeah, I'm standing over here.
Brian Christophher looking this way. Mr. Wrestling slips the ropes reversal. Brian Christophher, there's the super kick. Mr. Wrestling goes down. Here's the count. 1, 2, 3. At 2 sections, Brian Christophher gets the win.
Get over here, Christophher. Brian Christophher, I want you right here, right now. Come over here.
Brian Christophher being called over to the table by Luther Biggs.
What do you think you're doing having Billy Joe arrested? He didn't do anything wrong. I guess you can't take care of business on your own. You got to call the cops. Well, do you know how much I hate you? You know how mad I am? You're eating up with jealousy because Billy Joe's a champion, you're not. I ought to go ahead and belt you with this guitar right now.
Oh, is that right? Well, I'll tell you what. You want to belt me with that guitar? Well, swing away. Because the only one that's going to get busted over the head with a guitar is going to be you, big mouth.
Sexy Brian Christophher and Billy Joe Travis, manager Luther Biggs, Brian Christophher. Now, wait a minute. Here's Big Doomsday and Brian Christophher with the guitar over Doomsday. Holy cow! Christophher pounding the guitar over the head of Doomsday. It didn't faze him. And the big man carrying in on Brian Christophher. Luther Biggs has his belt off. Obviously very upset. We got to go to break.